welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in today. You are dialed into Let's Talk Nutrition, either by design or accident. However you got here is okay with me. Just so you're here. Stick around. You never know. You may touch upon something that will be meaningful to you. Who knows, could make a difference. It happens all the time. There's so many issues out there floating around with people and what they struggle with. And we cover quite a wide range, an array of themes, health themes, wellness and well-being themes, sooner or later. And we try to talk about things on here that work, evidence-based, whatever the therapy may be. Talk a lot about supplements. Dr. Kate Rowan-Blue will be the guest today from Natural Factors. She's a naturopathic physician. We'll see what's on her mind. And Gary's here. Katie's there on the other side of the glass, working the board. It's all good. A pretty good prescription. Who knows what things emerge on the show. You know, we have a certain plan to talk about a particular topic or topics, and then along the way, things bubble up, and you got to go there, because oftentimes those themes are maybe more important what I plan to talk about. So we can go there. Very flexible. And you're always invited to join in the conversation. You are the conversation. Just don't want to talk about you, want to talk with you about you. So you have to make contact. And you can call and you can write. You can even come to the studio if you like. You're always invited. We've had people do that.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK. You can also go to our Facebook page at Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook, like our page. Go to our YouTube channel, which is Let's Talk Nutrition on YouTube. We have over 70,000 views now. We have 1,200 videos. Everything's up there by title. It's closed caption for the hearing impaired. And if you can go to your Alexa or your Google device and have them set the alarm to play Let's Talk Nutrition at 9 a.m. Eastern on 1250 WHNZ. Doc?
It's all good.
You remember 2 years ago when I came in here and you told me something about talking to someone and talking with someone, and there's someone in a building that has a tag that says, I talk to you.
I talk to you. Yeah.
And not listening.
Not listening. You can hear somebody, but are you really listening to them? Are you in that moment, in that conversation, or are you adrift in your head? And people can tell. We try to mask that, but the eyes and your other nonverbal behavior give it away. And that's why sometimes you can't remember a name that when you were introduced to somebody, because you were not in that moment. We've all done that. And when you're in the moment, you learn so much more, not only about whatever you're talking about, but that other person. It's just stunning. Even somebody that you know very well. Just try practicing that. Let's say you're at the gym, you're at the grocery store, you bump into somebody, and you start talking to them. Try to get into that moment totally. That moment. Just be in that moment. Try that. Try that for one day with every person you talk to. See if you can do it. And when I say in that moment, I mean exactly that. There is no other moment but that one. Not what just happened, not what you think is going to happen, the one you're in. See if you can do that for one day with every person you talk to. Try it. You may be surprised how difficult that is. And then you will learn, if you continue to practice it, you will see that you will see things you didn't see before. You will have a better understanding of what people are trying to express to you. and you will just, um, you know, do better. 877-897-8255. So, why I often say to you that um, where you live makes a difference, and in so many and different ways. Some are not so obvious. For example, I was reporting on the most stressed cities in the United States, from most in least stress, from most to least, and it is remarkable to me how this variable continues to open up and unfold. If I said to you, where you live will be a factor in whether or not you're going to develop heart disease, that may not be too hard to put together if you start to think about what? You could start to think about, well, do I live near a toxic facility of one sort or another? Electric powered plant, some nuclear plant, whatever, industrial site, industrial area. Look what happened in Flint, what they did to the river from the industrial area. Then you start thinking about the soil. Then you start thinking about the food, and then eventually you're going to get to the air, the toxic air. We've known for quite a while, and there's quite alarm going on. I remember years ago when smog, the concept of smog was first presented, and they talked about it on TV, and they showed these images of Los Angeles, and they were trying to describe the phenomenon. It's like this mung that was hanging over the city, and they called it wasn't fog, they called it smog. I remember, I don't know if it's gotten better, it's gotten worse, a mix of, I don't know. But I do know this. We now understand that the quality of the air not only affects your ability to breathe, but it has short and long-term effects on your cardiovascular system. And there's a whole line of research making the connection between atherosclerosis and air pollution. Last month, of course, typically atherosclerosis can be the result of fatty deposits, which everybody knows about cholesterol, and fat or cellular waste that accumulates within the artery, inside the artery. Over time, then the artery is trying to be repaired and using plaque. Plaque builds up inside the blood vessels and it thickens, and the artery gets stiff and restricts the blood flow, and nutrients can't get there, and oxygen. And oftentimes, and sometimes that you'll have a rupture, and then you end up with a stroke or a heart attack, and you're in a bad way. Atherosclerosis, diseasing of the arteries, is more dangerous, as a very dangerous cardiovascular event, as I'm suggesting. Coronary heart disease, peripheral artery disease, heart attack, stroke, bad news. It's the particulates from the air. We breathe them in, they get into the bloodstream, the immune system recognizes them as foreign invaders and begins to attack the arteries. I'll tell you more, and there's a new study on the same topic.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. It's me, your immune system. I'm always hard at work defending you against the many disease-causing viruses and bacteria that you are exposed to every day. But sometimes I need help to defeat the bad bugs. Luckily, our friends at Kyolic have come to the rescue. Kyolic has two super immune-enhancing supplements, Kyolic Immune Formula 103 and Kyo Green Harvest Blend Immune Defense. Kyo Green Harvest Blend is a power-packed blend of organic and naturally sourced grasses, ancient grains, fruits, veggies,
doing a little tutorial on cardiovascular disease, and I'm using this current study. There's two. There was one last month, and there's one that just came out. One was done in the U.S., one was done in China, and a Dr. Wang is the investigator. And so I'm using these studies as a platform to do this tutorial on cardiovascular disease. Why? Because everybody listening and watching this show is a candidate for it. Every single person. And you say, well, I don't have any, there was no heart disease in my family. There are so many variables implicated in heart disease and cardiovascular disease generally than I can count. Hundreds. Hundreds. So that's why I say everybody listening and watching the show is a candidate for heart disease. So this new research, or the last month, that's still new, but we have even a fresher loaf of bread here in a moment. Researchers aren't exactly sure why the atherosclerosis gets triggered. We know that high blood pressure is a cause of atherosclerosis because it puts pressure against the arteries and damages the artery. High cholesterol, cigarette smoking, alcohol, toxins in the environment, which is now what I'm talking about. And this particular culprit is air pollution. And Dr. Meng Wang is an assistant professor of epidemiology and environmental health at the University at Buffalo School of Public Health and Health Professions in NY in New York. Her study was published in Environmental Health Perspectives. They looked at 6,619 adults. The ages were 45 to 84. Who did not have cardiovascular disease or any other conditions at the start of the study. They followed these people for an average of 6.5 years. They were part of a multi-ethnic study of atherosclerosis. That's what it was called. MESA, M-E-S-A. They came from 6 cities across the U.S. Winston-Salem, New York, Baltimore, St. Paul, Minnesota, Chicago, and L.A. Interesting selection of study sites. They use statistical models to try and determine these associations. I'm familiar with what they did between ozone exposure and atherosclerosis. The model suggests that there is an association, statistically significant association, between long-term exposure to ozone and progression of atherosclerosis. That's a quote. That's what said in the study. Specifically, the association, the correlation was between chronic ozone exposure and, quote, an increased rate of carotid wall thickness progression. The carotid arteries are the arteries in your neck that feed the blood, oxygenated blood and nutrients to your brain, and the risk of new plaque formation, close quote. These results suggested that arterial injury in the carotid arteries, those 2 large vessels in your neck that supply blood to your brain, your head, are vulnerable. And sometimes they can go in there and they'll clean them out. They'll root those arteries. This goes on a lot. So this really, Dr. Wang, she commented and she said, quote, this may indicate that the association between long-term exposure to ozone and cardiovascular mortality has been observed in some studies is due to arterial injury and acceleration of atherosclerosis, close quote. Well, those go together. When the arteries get injured in some form or fashion, either from high blood pressure or from whatever particles floating through there that don't belong there, too much cholesterol, oxidized cholesterol, whatever it might be, the instinct, the biological trigger then is to repair it. And that's what the body does. And ironically, in the attempt to repair, the arteries get plaqued too. It contributes to it. Dr. Wang said that this is the first epidemiological study to examine the link between ozone exposure and subclinical vascular disease. That is, injuries that damage the artery walls before a heart attack or a stroke occurs. It's subclinical. You're not aware. Gary, look up the definition of ozone, the exact definition. You have air pollution. People think ozone, air pollution. You got to be careful with your concepts. Ground level ozone damages lungs as well. That's why you hear in large cities, Chicago, New York, wherever, during the summertime when they have those weather inversions, they tell people, elderly people and others with lung issues, to stay indoors and to be extra careful.
It comes from the Greek word ozine, colorless, unstable, toxic gas with a pungent odor and powerful oxidizing properties, formed from oxygen by electrical discharges or ultraviolet light. It differs from normal oxygen, O2, and having 3 atoms in its molecule, so it's an O3.
So check ozone, type in ozone, air pollution. It's odd because you don't hear the word ozone all that much anymore. Early on, when this phenomenon of smog became recognized, and I remember it clearly. And they were showing pictures of Los Angeles with this mung over the city. Now they don't. It doesn't come up in this study. They're using ozone. It's all about the ozone.
Don't be. When you wake. It's non-addictive, completely natural, and leaves you feeling energetic and ready to take on the day. To place your order, to find out where to find Hepinol in your area, call 1-800-243-5242, 800-243-5242, or visit us at oregonol.com.
1250 WHNZ. Online at WHNZ.com. On your phone with the iHeartRadio app. And on hundreds of devices like Alexa, Google Home, Xbox, and Sonos. An iHeartRadio station.
Hey friends, this is Frank Cotto, the host of the Business Happy Hour. Myself, Ryan Pelkey, and Doug Ford will be live every Wednesday at 11 a.m. We are the #1 show for business and entrepreneurship in Tampa, so tune in every Wednesday on 1250 live at 11 a.m.
News on 1250 WHNZ.
They were just being kids, but 3 girls ended up getting shot at while riding an ATV in Hernando County. Deputies say 30-year-old Colby Kanice didn't want them near his property. Crystal Musso tells News Channel 8 in Tampa.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is happening. We moved from a bigger city on the East Coast over here so that we were in a safer area.
The girls were not hurt. Kanice is charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault. An argument over loud music appears to be what led to the death of a Miami-Dade barbershop owner. A candlelight vigil was held to honor Joan Martinez after he was shot to death, allegedly by a neighbor's son, outside Luigi's Clippers in West Little River. And West Palm Beach is using loud music to try and move the homeless out of a park. They're playing songs like Baby Shark and other repetitive kid songs to drive them out. With Florida's News, I'm Chris Trankman.
From the 1250 WHNZ Florida Central Auto Loans Traffic Center.
Serious crash in Pasco County has northbound Little Road shut down just north of Fox Hollow Drive. Also, we're seeing delays in the southbound direction in the area of Jasmine Boulevard. Use US 19 instead to get around this. Crash being cleared in Tampa on westbound Hillsborough Avenue just west of Orient Road. See traffic problems, call the injury firm Abrahamson Uterick Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Staples is your back-to-school destination. Get all the supplies you need at incredibly low prices. This week, Staples Standard View 1-inch binders in assorted colors are just $1.92. In-store only. Offer ends 8/31/19 while supplies last. Staples.
Pros do it right to take their business to the next level by relying on trusted brands to get the job done. Lowe's is here to help and help you save. For your next stain job, get a gallon of Valspar One Coat Transparent Stain Plus Sealer starting at $35.98. And we now offer the Little Giant King Combo Ladder, the world's first step, extension, and leaning ladder, giving you the flexibility to do just about any job for only $159. For trusted brands that make the job easier, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's, U.S. only.
Napa know-how. At Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care Centers, get a $25 prepaid Visa card when you get any Napa Automotive battery. It's the best deal for some of the best batteries from some of the best car people around. But we might be a little partial. Anywho, pick up any Napa Automotive battery and save $25. Do it yourself or have it done for you. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care Centers while supplies last. Offer ends 8/31/19.
From the 1250 WHNZ Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center. Rely on Rude.
Your Tampa Bay forecast. Mostly sunny today, muggy and hot with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. High 91. Tonight, showers clearing, then partly cloudy. Low 78. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, hot again with a 40% rain chance. High 91. For more news, weather, and traffic, tune to WFLA at 94.5 in St. Pete, 105.9 in Tampa, or 99.1 in Newport Richey.
This report is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Great news. There's a quick way you could save money. Switch to Geico. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price, and it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save.
Mark Levin is now on 1250 WHNZ.
The president is standing up to the growing anti-Semitism in the Democrat Party, the growing anti-Americanism in the Democrat Party. You may not agree with everything he says, but he's trying to stand up to it. Unlike the New York Times in the 1930s, which refused to make a big issue with the extermination of the European Jews.
Hear Mark Levin, weeknights at 7 on 1250 WHNZ.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Ridgecrest Herbals, take your health to a higher elevation. Ancient Nutrition, nutrition for a modern world. Reviva Labs, the natural skincare authority. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning in today. It's Rob yelling. Can you hear him? He's yelling again. I thought it was Dr. Kate, but it's Mr. Rob, and that's good. He's out there, and he had to get up early to be here because he's out on the left coast out there in San Diego area. I was, if you just tuned in, I was doing a very brief tutorial on heart disease, atherosclerosis, and its connection to ozone. Study last month, and now a follow-up by a Dr. Wang. She did it in China as well. Well, let me tell you how bad the pollution is in China. There are places in China where seeing the sunrise or the sunset is such an infrequent phenomenon that they have giant billboards depicting the sunrise or the sunset to remind people that such a thing does occur. I kid you not. We showed that photograph of that billboard. And the pollution is so bad there that people are wearing, even now they even have designer masks. Right?
Yes.
It's crazy.
At fashion shows.
And so here, long term, this connection between ozone and lung and atherosclerosis is real. Numerous other health conditions associated with this whole idea of air pollution. Know this, ozone, for you chemists, as you well know, is an oxygen is the three atoms of oxygen. It's O3. It occurs both in the Earth's upper atmosphere and it also occurs at ground level. Now, it can be good or bad depending on where you find it. At ground, good ozone is made in the Earth's upper atmosphere, and it's 6 to 30 miles above the Earth's surface. You learned that in school, when it forms this protective layer that what? Shields us from the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays. Human-derived chemicals are known to destroy the beneficial ozone, that layer, and makes us more prone to cancer. We have places on Earth where cancer rates are now increasing. And it's just critical. Bad ozone is the Earth's lower atmosphere near the ground level, and that ozone is formed when you have pollutants that are derived or emitted by cars, power plants, industrial boilers, refineries, chemical plants, your barbecue. Other sources react chemically in the presence of sunlight. Ozone at ground level is harmful air and is the culprit here in creating or setting up this diseasing of the arteries. In particular, they looked at the carotid arteries. I suspect it's going to affect the coronary arteries as well. So that's the connection. Where you live is important. Again, yet another example. As I said, Rob Yellen's our guest today, educator for natural factors. And Rob, welcome to the show. How is the pollution in San Diego?
Well, it's, and by the way, good morning. Thank you for having me this morning, Dr. Garko.
It's our pleasure.
Glad to be on your show.
Oh, we love having you on.
Yeah, so I'd say it's, it has gotten better. I remember in years past, I've been here
How many years have you lived there? How many years?
I've been here for 28 years now. So
all right.
I remember some of the first years we would, San Diego's really not that bad, but we're just south of Los Angeles. So Los Angeles has been historically bad in the past, and so what would happen is the winds would blow, and you could see it as you're looking out over the ocean. It'd be kind of like a brown cloud bank out over the ocean because it would blow down from Los Angeles and typically out over the coast. So you knew some of it was probably over the city as well as you looked out, and you'd see that coming down. But it seems to have been relatively clean visually, so you never really know, though, what you're actually breathing in. It's probably not the same as being up in the Rocky Mountains and that clear air, because I know I travel a lot, and up there you breathe, take a deep breath in, and it's like, boy, this is for sure fresh and clean. And
yeah. Did they refer to the smog is a combination? Well, they were using it as a term to identify the phenomenon of this buildup of pollution in the air. But smog technically is smoke and fog put together. But the term has been used to refer to air pollution. Is that how you remember it?
Yeah, it was that gray, and we knew it as smog, obviously, as from the Los Angeles area.
Yeah, I used to live in Pasadena, not far from L.A., and Pasadena sits in a basin and surrounded by sort of like a basin. It's surrounded by the Altadena Mountains, and boy, there were days. I've said this on the air before. I was reluctant to go outside. And the pollution, it was so bad back then. It was horrible. And it has cleaned up a lot, but it's still an issue. When we go to L.A., I still see, it's still an issue. I don't know. And I see people running out there. I don't know, man. But San Diego was such a meticulously well-kept city. I often joke you can eat off the streets there. I don't know what's up with that city, but it's, at least when I've been there, it's been immaculate. It's a nice place to live. But thanks for getting up so early. And
absolutely.
What did you have on your mind today?
Well, today
that you can talk about on the air.
Doggone it. Well,
doggone it.
Change subjects then. Let me see. No, absolutely. It's I'm really just wanting to talk about some of the I think we often talk about supplements and things that are how beneficial supplements are, but I do want to talk about that. Start off talking about really how beneficial, which and everybody knows, you've talked about it for years. How beneficial real food is with the greens and the fruits and the vegetables.
Okay, so I see where you want to go. Let me see if let me be the journalist that I sometimes I really need to be. Do you think? Okay. Don't you think that dietary supplementation is highly overrated?
It's highly overrated. Well, that's kind of a loaded question to a.
Well, you can interpret that any way you want. All right, let me be more clear. When we come back, I'll ask you the question again. And what I'm getting at is dietary supplementation overrated? Is it overrated with respect to what people expect that these dietary supplement products will do for them? Is it well, we come back, I'll try to reframe it and then get the guest to try to answer that question. It's not an easy one.
or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation. And it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD Oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
Did you know that you have 3 brains? Yes, you heard right. Exciting new research reveals you have 3 brains: your head brain, your heart brain, and your gut brain. These 3 brains are like an orchestra with billions of neurons working together to create a harmonic symphony. This intricate relationship between these 3 brains impacts your mental, emotional, and physical health. The 3 Brain Supplements from Natural Factors is a bold new innovation in mental health. It provides a whole-body approach to balance brain health and well-being. Start with the 3 Brains Total Kit, which includes 5 supplements that are essential for 3 brain health. The kit provides foundational support for all 3 of your brains. Then, depending on your unique needs, choose from higher thoughts to enhance brain performance, mental sunshine for healthy mood balance, serene mind to relieve stress-related fatigue, or the best sleep for restful sleep. Learn more at 3brainshealth.com.
This is Dr. Michael Garka, host of the nationally syndicated health talk show, Let's Talk Nutrition. Way too often, dietary supplements cost way too much. Not so at Vitamin Discount Center. Here's why. VDC sells leading national brands up to 50% off MSRP every day. Competitors' prices are matched for identical products with proof of price. If you're in the military or are a first responder, you get an additional 10% off VDC's already discounted prices. VDC even offers case discounts. And you can get connected with VDC's VIP mobile text program for additional savings and customer rewards throughout the month. The choice is clear. You can save at Vitamin Discount Center. For a store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com or call 813-907-7066. That's 813-907-7066. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Natural Factors, where great health begins. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Celsius, live fit. Flora, 100 years of herbal wisdom. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Rob Yellen is our guest today from Natural Factors. I asked him the question. He wants to talk about dietary supplementation, and I feel journalistically a responsibility to ask him this question, and that is simply, does he have any sense or believe that, or what's his take on the notion that dietary supplementation could be overrated? And are dietary supplements overrated? Rob, welcome back. There's a number of ways that question can be answered depending on how you want to interpret what I'm trying to get at. Many people believe that if they take dietary supplements, that it's going to do X, Y, or Z, whatever that may be. That's what I'm trying to get at, and I don't want to predispose you, so that's why I'm being vague about that. Do you have any general sense of to what I was asking?
Yeah, so I guess my whole take on it is typically people that are coming to the natural alternative, coming to a natural health food store for advice. They're looking for something as an alternative to prescription drugs, allopathic medicine, right? So they're thinking, okay, well, I want something that works just as well, that fixes me for, what's happening to me from some health aspect. And the only problem is they're coming from the aspect of, everything, when I take prescription drugs, I can continue on with my current lifestyle and take something, fix it, and I can keep doing what I'm doing. Well, when you come to a natural product store, they say, well, this is great. We've got a supplement for you to supplement a good diet, but you do need to change. If you do want long-term health, long-term lasting health, you need to adjust what you eat, your lifestyle, your diet, and that's one thing that we so like about natural product stores, natural health food stores, which is what Natural Factors is committed to, is because they can educate them on that. So that's the drawback. They are supplements, meaning they are to supplement a good diet, a good lifestyle. And some people get it, other people don't. Sadly, several of our products work so well that they say, well, hey, I can keep going to McDonald's now because I'm feeling better, right? Or I'm starting to sleep well because I'm taking, the Tranquil Sleep or something like that. Whereas really what you need to do is look at what's caused you to get to that situation and fix that, so that's, maybe long-term, down the road, you don't need to continue to supplement as heavily anyway, because you've adjusted your lifestyle and eating habits.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So if I were asked that question, do you think dietary supplements are overrated? And I would add the highly overrated. I would be inclined to answer yes on the part of the consumer. And highly overrated in this sense. One, too many people believe that dietary supplements cure X, Y, or Z condition. Supplements don't cure anything, and neither do drugs, by the way. They're highly overrated. Also, I think, Rob, in the terms of people take them and believe that if I take them, they will offset any of my diet or lifestyle violations. And that's not necessarily true either. And that somehow they say, oh, fill in the gaps. Well, some of these gaps are self-created. They eat a horrible diet, and they got all these holes and gaps, and thinking that the supplements are going to fill in all those gaps. Most likely won't, because to your point, whole food is exactly that. And you get my point where I'm going with this. I could give you other reasons why I think they're highly overrated. It doesn't mean that I don't think that they are effective or should be taken. Lord knows I talk about them every day on this show. I just wanted to sort of introduce that idea to people, that we have an expectation that sometimes that the supplements won't meet if you follow my drift.
Oh, exactly. I mean, that's why, that leads right into our topic that we're, really going to be talking about today also. It's just the aspect of, how beneficial live food is, fresh fruits and vegetables. And that's why with Natural Factors, as we will talk about today, we have our own organic farms. We've raised a lot of these fruits and vegetables. We've created products that are concentrated food sources that, again, get you over that hump, get you into feeling great, so that, hopefully you'll begin to eat more of these naturally from your health food store, organic sources of these, to change your diet and lifestyle. But we have products to kind of jettison you there, or to get you there quickly.
I see. So
you can see how that feels.
So what you're doing here, it sounds like Natural Factors has figured out a way to take two concepts, whole food and dietary supplements, and synthesize them together in such a way that you end up with a product that's, how can I put it? It's trying to address the very issue, the question that I asked. They are not a substitute for whole foods, but these supplements are derived from whole foods. So you're sort of addressing that question that I asked with that approach. Did I misrepresent what's being done here?
Yeah, so it's, I guess the only thing that I would correct is, being derived from whole foods. It actually is whole food. It's a concentrated whole food that we do have, which is both in our Whole Earth and Sea multiples that we I've talked about for several years now, and then most recently our Whole Earth and Sea fermented greens.
Right.
So it's I'd really like to get into, obviously we know how beneficial greens are, but the fermentation aspect is quite a leap, and quite spectacular and nutritionally.
So when I use the word derived, meaning that the raw material from which these supplements are made, that Whole Earth and Sea line of dietary supplements, they're derived or otherwise made from whole food, right?
Correct.
Right. And you compress a lot of whole food into a little pill. We can talk about that in the second hour, how much food it does take to make these dietary supplements. So these aren't to help educate the consumer and the listener and viewer of the show. These are not extracts, correct?
Correct. They're not extracts. It's not a fermentation. A fermentation process, as you would think, some of the way the vitamins are produced. It is a fermentation because you're fermenting whole, complete food, which we can kind of define the differentiation between those two, because it did come up in a question when I was doing a lecture a while back.
Whole food, the distinction between whole food and
next hour.
What's the distinction? Whole food and fermentation?
Well, the distinction because people hear fermentation all the time in the whole food multiple vitamins, right? And that's a fermentation process, and they're confusing that with our fermentation process
Okay.
with food that's in our whole earth.
All right, we'll talk. That's okay. We'll talk about that. Rob Yellen's our guest today from Natural Factors, talking about fermented greens and fermented green protein in greens. Those are two products from Natural Factors, but there's an interesting narrative that supports those products that I think we can learn from. Floridex.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products.
The preceding was a commercial program paid for by Let's Talk Nutrition, LLC. The Rays play on Tampa Bay Sports Radio, WDAE.
To the wall, let's go!
Catch every pitch of Rays baseball in Pinellas and Hillsborough on 95.3 FM and all over Tampa Bay on 620 AM. Rays up.
You can wear the same threads as Blake Snell on Saturday when the Rays host the White Sox. All fans will receive a Blake Snell replica jersey presented by Suncoast Credit Union. Don't miss any of the action. Visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up.
Dana Lash and the Dana Show on 1250 WHNZ.
All of these people go out of the Tupperware Fresh collegiate brainwashing emporium and they go right into government on the public teat. People like Bernie Sanders. Oh, well, he's only ever worked at public jobs. Oh, he wrote for a zine briefly. Is that not the most hipster-rific thing you've ever heard in your life? He sounds like the best guy to sit here and determine policy.
The Dana Show. Weeknights 10 to midnight on 1250 WHNZ. 1250 wins WHNZ Tampa Bay. Available everywhere you want to listen on our free iHeartRadio app. Download it now.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Real news, real reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A dangerous heat wave is sweeping half the country.
It's hot. It's really hot. It's really hot.
Nearly 150 million people from Arizona to New England are under heat alerts. Record-breaking temperatures are expected through the weekend. Earl Barnett is in St. Louis.
It's sweltering. I'm on shirt number 3 today.
Across the country, millions of people are trudging through the first major heat wave of the year. In New York City, officials opened dozens of cooling centers to the public.
Take this heat situation seriously, take precautions, particularly when it comes to folks with any kind of vulnerability.
President Trump is back on the campaign trail, targeting 4 congresswomen of color, including Ilhan Omar.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds.
The day after Mr. Trump was rebuked in the House for racist tweets, he was unremorseful at a rally in Greenville, North Carolina. CBS This Morning's Gail King spoke to Congresswoman Omar.
Would you like people to, would you like to make it clear that you are not anti-Semitic?
Oh, certainly not. Yes.
Thousands of protesters were back in the streets of San Juan, this time throwing fireworks at police as they demand Governor Ricardo Rosselló resign over chat messages mocking women, disabled, and gay people and Hurricane Maria victims. Correspondent David Begnaud is on the island.
A new report alleges a multi-billion-dollar corruption network is behind the chat group, where public funds were used to influence and benefit private clients and the Puerto Rico government. It claims the governor knew and did nothing to stop it.
The death toll is up to 33 in a fire at an animation studio in Kyoto, Japan. Witnesses say a man screaming, "You die," doused the place with flammable liquid, then ignited the flames. Police say a suspect is under arrest. A scary experience for a couple of kids in the South.
A sex offender working at a convenience store in Newport, North Carolina, is accused of locking 2 children inside and robbing them. Police say it happened as 60-year-old Hector Sanchez, a sex offender from California, was locking up the store for the day. Investigators say the kids tried to buy candy with $20. Sanchez pocketed it. One of the children called their mother, who alerted police before Sanchez released the youngsters. Jim Crisula, CBS News, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Look who's planning a comeback.
I wanna grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
It's Jeffrey the Giraffe. His maker, Toys R Us, says it'll open its first new store since filing for bankruptcy. One in Paramus, New Jersey, the other in Houston, Texas in November. This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
Doors are being slammed in your face, and bad credit is holding you back from buying a house, car, even getting a credit card. $99 can put your credit back to a 720 or higher. That's right, just $99. Bankruptcy, tax liens, judgments, and even late pays can be removed from credit reports by calling the Giving Days Foundation. A nonprofit organization is here to help. Federal law allows you to challenge each and every item on your credit report. We'll recalculate your personal credit score for only $99 and repair your personal credit for free. Just be one of the first 10 callers. Take our personal credit challenge. Get your credit score to a 720. 800-543-5772. Call now to recalculate your personal credit score for only $99 and repair your personal credit for free. Call now. 800-543-5772. Don't miss this great free credit repair. Just be one of the first 10 callers. 800-543-5772.
All the good stuff. Yeah. Rufio keeps you on top of pop culture.
The Emmy nominations have been announced, with Game of Thrones breaking the Emmy record that was set in 1994. They earned 32 nominations in total this year. I wonder if any of them were for editing, because they kind of left coffee cups and water bottles in the show. NYPD Blue actually held the all-time series record of 27 nominations since 1994. If Game of Thrones takes home its Best Drama Series title again, it will join the likes of Hill Street Blues, LA Law, The West Wing, and Mad Men with 4 Best Drama Awards.
All right. And that's what's poppin'.
I'm Rufio on iHeartRadio.
From the 1250 WHNZ Florida Central Auto Loans Traffic Center.
So looking at some minor delays on 275 southbound between Sly and Hillsborough Avenue, as well as between Pinellas Point Drive, the beginning of the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. Authorities on scene of a crash still blocking the right lane on MLK westbound at Himes Avenue. Also reports of a new crash on Lakewood Drive at Brandon Boulevard, causing some pretty heavy delays. If you see other traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line at 866-545-9595.
This report is sponsored by Ashley Home Store.
Ashley Home Store is breaking all the rules by bringing Black Friday mattress savings to July. Right now, Ashley Sleep mattresses start at just $119 or get no interest for 84 months. Plus, get up to $300 Ashley cash. Ashley Home Store, this is home.
The following is a commercial program paid for by Let's Talk Nutrition, LLC. The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the following program are not those of WHNZ AM, its staff, management, or parent company, iHeartMedia Incorporated.
Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
And welcome to the show. Thanks for stopping by today. Rob Yellen is our guest from Natural Factors, educator for Natural Factors. In the first hour, I did a mini tutorial on atherosclerosis, hardening of the arteries, diseasing of the arteries, and its connection to all things air pollution generally, but in specific, ozone. Now, that term, ozone, there's some confusion that surrounds it. Initially, when we first started talking about, this is several decades ago now, ozone was always in the news. It's interesting, we now talk about air pollution, and they don't say ozone. I don't know why, but in this study, ozone is featured. Ozone is something, as you recall from school, is naturally occurring in the Earth's atmosphere. And thank goodness, because it protects us from the sun's harmful rays. Now, human-made chemicals that are from all sorts of sources, industrial sources, that use of these fossil fuels are destroying that ozone layer, and that has all kinds of consequences. And then there is other ozone that in the Earth's lower atmosphere, near the ground level, and that's formed when you have pollutants emitted by cars and power plants, you'll get boilers out there, refineries, chemical plants, and other sources, and they react chemically in the presence of sunlight. These chemicals do. And ozone at ground level is harmful. It's a deleterious, it can be a deadly pollutant for people. Not only does it cause respiratory issues associated with lung disease, but heart disease as well, atherosclerosis. And in this current study, this one was done in China last month. The author of the study did one in the U.S., in some of the major cities, and found that there was a connection between the carotid arteries becoming diseased and being exposed to chronically to ozone. So where you live, as I keep saying, makes a difference. So we did that in the first hour. That's all archived, and here's how you can find it.
You can go to 877-897-8255 and call us, or you can go to our YouTube page and follow us on YouTube at Let's Talk Nutrition, on our Facebook page at Let's Talk Nutrition, and like us and share us with your friends. And don't forget, on Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition on Instagram.
Just so you know, heart disease, over several decades now, the primary approach has been to treat heart disease by focusing on hypertension, dyslipidemia, obesity, diabetes, mellitus, and smoking. Those are just a handful of the variables that are associated with coronary heart disease. There are scores, if not hundreds of them. And air pollution is one among many. Just so you don't want to mislead that there's, that it's all about the ozone. There are many other variables. So, dietary supplementation. Rob Yellen's our guest, and he wants to talk about it. We had an interesting question And I'm going to introduce Rob again. He's an educator for Natural Factors, has been for many years, and he's been on my show a number of times. Rob, welcome back. We had a very good question from a listener talking about PGX, which I'm a fan of that product, and wanted to know if you take PGX, when should you take it? And if I understand what Katie was telling me, does it interfere with dietary supplement absorption? Is that what he was saying? Was that what the caller was saying, Katie?
Basically, yeah. He says he takes a lot of supplements with his meals 3 times a day, and he wants to know when the appropriate time to take the PGX is so it doesn't interfere with the supplements.
Okay. Good question. Rob, welcome back. Did you get that?
Yes, I heard that. Absolutely, on the PGX. So the PGX for the benefits, there's typically, if you are looking at it for weight control, and typically we recommend that you take it before each meal, 30 to 45 minutes before each meal, with 8 to 16 ounces of water, so that it can actually absorb 400 times its weight in water. What does it do in terms of other nutrients? If anything, it doesn't necessarily inhibit the absorption of other nutrients. It may slow down the uptake of them. So, for instance, if people are taking prescription drugs that need to have a rapid absorption into your system, then you may want to avoid the PGX. But other than that, it basically just kind of slows down the absorption of everything. That's why if you're eating pasta and other things that cause your blood sugar spike, that's what the PGX does. All it is a soluble fiber that slows down the absorption of things. So it doesn't negatively affect the absorption of other nutrients or other supplements that you take, but it does make them more of a time release, I guess, over time, which could be beneficial.
All right. So, and what Rob reports there is accurate. And eating a lot of fiber is a good thing to do. And as I often hear me talk about, in some areas on the African continent, in some of the very, how can I put it? Some of these cultures, they're consuming 50, 60, 70, and higher grams of fiber a day. Now, eating a lot of fiber is a good idea. You won't block your body's ability to absorb every vitamin and mineral. That being said, we know that, for example, iron, zinc, magnesium, calcium, and phosphorus, it will especially interfere. Eventually, they'll get absorbed, but it will interfere with those particular minerals, iron, zinc, magnesium, calcium, and phosphorus. So you need to be mindful of that. And I think Rob alluded to the idea certain medications can be affected, too, in their absorption through the small intestine when you're taking fiber as well. But generally speaking, taking fiber is a good idea, and eating a high-fiber diet is outstanding. A key to weight loss, by the way, right, Rob?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're feeling full most of the time, and which is what the PGX does, you're eating less, and you're satiated. So that's one of the biggest benefits of PGX is you're feeling satiated most of the time on less food, and it also helps balance the blood sugar, which tends to cause the food cravings. Right, when you have a rapid increase in your blood sugar or a rapid crash, then that's what causes you to run for the.
So you have
stuff that you shouldn't.
You have PGX. You can go to pgx.com. I know you didn't come on to talk about fiber, but Natural Factors has other fiber products too, right?
Yes, we have several other ones, some new ones that are coming out, but I definitely want to, at some time we could come on and we could talk about some of those also.
Sure, and we will. Go to naturalfactors.com, and they're a Canadian company, so they have to go through all the regulations associated with the Canadian government, and then as well as the FDA here. What's the equivalent in Canada for the FDA?
It's the Canadian Board of Health. It's the CBH.
There you go. 877-897-8255. Dietary supplements. Okay. So you're making the argument that dietary supplements, you have foods, you have whole foods out there in the world, of course, and that's what we need to be consuming. And then we have supplements. And then wouldn't it be nifty if you could marry those two concepts together? Well, maybe Natural Factors has figured out a way to do that. We come back, we'll have Rob explain. They have a line of products, dietary supplement products called Whole Earth and Sea. By the sea, by the beautiful sea. That sea. We'll see what those are about. That I remember when that hit the market. Man, it's done very well. Don't forget to check out Clear Lungs Immune and Clear Lungs Sport. Visit rcherbals.com or call 1-800-242-4649 and mention this ad to order the right Clear Lungs product for you. That's 1-800-242-4649.
Is getting a good night's sleep a challenge? Fortunately, there's a superior fast-acting sleep formula called Tranquil Sleep from Natural Factors. This non-habit-forming supplement contains a unique combination of melatonin, 5-HTP, and L-theanine, which works in harmony with your body's natural sleep hormones. Tranquil Sleep can help you fall asleep, stay asleep, sleep sounder, and wake up refreshed, all without feeling drowsy in the morning. The key benefit comes from increasing the time spent in the deeper stages of sleep. It's only in these deeper levels of sleep that we truly experience the rejuvenation, regeneration, and recuperation that sleep provides. Even if you think you get a good night's sleep, give Tranquil Sleep a try. You might be surprised with how much better you've slept by waking up with more energy and enthusiasm to start your day. Learn more at naturalfactors.com.
This is Dr. Michael Garka, host of the nationally syndicated health talk show, Let's Talk Nutrition. Way too often, dietary supplements cost way too much. Not so at Vitamin Discount Center. Here's why. BDC sells leading national brands up to 50% off MSRP every day. Competitors' prices are matched for identical products with proof of price. If you're in the military or are a first responder, you get an additional 10% off BDC's already discounted prices. BDC even offers case discounts. And you can get connected with BDC's VIP mobile text program for additional savings and customer rewards throughout the month. The choice is clear. You can save at Vitamin Discount Center. For a store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com or call 813-907-7066. That's 813-907-7066. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Celsius is a fitness drink which is clinically proven to function. How? As a thermogenic, Celsius proprietary MetaPlus blend accelerates metabolism, increasing your body's ability to burn fat and calories. There are only two ways a body burns fat, through increased heart rate and our increased body temperature, thermogenesis. Drinking Celsius and then going into motion is double dipping. You're accelerating the burn and the results are even faster. Celsius is your ultimate fitness partner. No high fructose corn syrup, no aspartame, no preservatives, no artificial colors or flavors. 100% of 7 essential vitamins. Proven in 6 published university studies. How does it work? Celsius proprietary MetaPlus formula, including green tea with EGCS, ginger, and guarana seed, turns on thermogenesis, a process that boosts your body's metabolic rate. Drinking Celsius prior to fitness activities is proven to energize, accelerate metabolism, burn body fat and calories. Invest in yourself. Drink Celsius. Look for us at www.celsius.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. North American Herb and Spice, wellness for life. Natural Factors, where great health begins. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Rob Yellen is our guest today, talking about dietary supplementation and the science of dietary supplementation with respect to delivery systems, formulations, and whatnot, and all matters related. Natural Factors has taken a special effort to use the concept of whole food and combine that with the concept, or connect that with the concept of supplements. Okay, Rob, so that's generally the concept. And how did Natural Factors do that?
Well, the way we started, as you know, Natural Factors is a privately owned company, and I'm very committed to the natural products industry. Our owner, Roland Gaylor, has made it his personal, goal is to provide the very best in terms of products, going over and above what's actually required, even by the U.S. government, the Canadian government, even the Australian government, which is the highest standard in the world. And so one of the things he says is, I just want the very purest materials possible, right? So that's why over 20 years ago, he started in expanding, purchasing farms. We have over 1,000 acres of organic farms up in beautiful Kelowna, British Columbia. Some of the purest farmland there. It's way out in the boondocks, and so the area is very clean. The topsoil is over 6 feet deep, and it's actually, our farms are oftentimes thought of as better than organic, because we don't even use organic pesticides, which are acceptable in the U.S. under the USDA organic certification. But we go out and we actually use things like frogs and ladybugs and praying mantis, and they actually provide our natural pesticide control network. So with this, we get this very rich, mineral-rich produce that we have over, like in our whole earth and sea multiple vitamins. We have over, close to 30 different ingredients, whether it be beets and cauliflower and red radish and barley grass, basil, peppers, spearmints, all these things we actually grow on our farms, and we go through a very highly concentrated process that you alluded to earlier. We use our EnviroSimplex process, which is a machinery that we invented ourselves to do a 300-to-1 concentration, which goes into our multiple vitamins, and we also do.
What does that mean? What does that mean? 300-to-1 concentration.
300-to-1. So basically, you start off with 300 pounds of produce, and it goes into the machine. It goes to a very low temperature, high vacuum process that actually concentrates 300 pounds into 1 pound. So you can see it's one of the highest in the industry. Nobody else has this machinery, so nobody else is able to achieve that. When you're concentrating it like that, Dr. Garko, you're getting all the nutritional aspects in the product. It's not an extraction where you're trying to extract out certain nutrients and certain minerals. You're actually getting everything in a very highly concentrated form. And so when we talk about real food and starting with it, we're starting with everything that we have on our farms, over 1,000 acres on our farms, and we're concentrating it, which is delivering a true real food. And that's what makes it so exciting, is because now we have the multiple vitamin. Now for years, when we had our whole earth and sea multiple, Dr. Garko, he said, you're just waiting for when we come out with the greens that actually takes that produce and it's in a powdered form. And as you know, we have come out with that. And now we have it in not just a regular greens form, but in a fermented greens, which I think a lot of people are not really familiar with fermentation and the benefits of that. And that was one thing that I was wanting to expand up.
Sure, we will get to that, of course. 877-897-8255. Rob Yellen from Natural Factors. Raw whole food. So, in a word, these whole earth and sea supplements are raw whole food supplements. Yes?
Yes. I don't know if that was a question or
No. In the word, that's what they are, right? They're raw whole foods.
Yeah, exactly. Because in our environmental simplest process, we actually process it at less than 118 degrees, right? So you're preserving the phytonutrients, the enzymes. So it actually is raw processed. And so we're preserving all the things that you'd get in the live greens.
Okay, so in that greens product, all the ingredients, are they 100% organic?
Yes, it's a USDA organic product. It's organic. It's non-GMO. It's absolutely 100% organic.
And it's made with fermented grasses, fruits, vegetables. And the language that's used, micronized medicinal mushrooms. I want to ask you about that in a second. One of the concerns I've had, not with natural factors, but with the natural products industry and this almost overabundance of greens products in the industry, I always worry about greens, these green supplements, because the raw materials. If you're using raw materials that are contaminated, you're getting those contaminants in a very concentrated form with some of those greens products that are out there. I've always been concerned about that, and hence reluctant to take, unless they were organic. I wouldn't even. It's hard pressed to get me to take one. You follow my concern?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that is a big concern, and that's something that's very important to us. That's why we have the remoteness of our farm. So we don't just rest on that. I mean, we do testing. I know, organic in years past has gotten better now, but even as short as 8, 9, 10 years ago, organic meant that, a certified organic farmer signed that, no, I do not use any pesticides.
We'll be right back.
At oregano.com.
1250 WHNZ. Online at WHNZ.com. On your phone with the iHeartRadio app. And on hundreds of devices like Alexa, Google Home, Xbox, and Sonos. An iHeartRadio station.
I'm Navy veteran Eric Dane. Join us for CBS Eye on Veterans with information for vets transitioning to civilian life. Weekday mornings at 7:50 and Saturday evenings at 6. Right here on 1250 WHNZ.
News on 1250 WHNZ.
School bus drivers across Florida will soon be required to know first aid and CPR after David Godney of Polk County testified how his 14-year-old daughter with cerebral palsy died on a bus.
We know it's not going to bring our daughter back, but if it keeps one family from having to make a decision to take their child off of life support and hold their hand while they take their last breath, it's worth it.
The State Board of Education voted unanimously for the new rules. A teller who helped rob her own bank is going to prison. Naya Edmondson was sentenced to 2 years for giving her ex-boyfriend $80,000 she removed from an ATM. Law enforcement's warning people to stop using Face App, which takes pictures of your face and shows what you might look like when you get older because it's made by the Russians, and they may steal your identity and your data. With Florida's News, I'm Chris Trankman.
traffic is finally getting back up to speed throughout the Tampa Bay area this morning. Your usual delays continue on I-4 westbound between the Summit Connector and 275. No delays on 275 right now. However, just a reminder, there was a disabled vehicle blocking a center lane on 275 southbound near Howard and Armenia. Things getting back up to speed slowly but surely through that area. No problems right now on I-75 or across your area bridges. If you do see traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick Hillsborough traffic tip line at 866-545-9595.
This report is sponsored by Ashley Home Store.
Ashley Home Store is breaking all the rules by bringing Black Friday to July. Hurry in for big deals and for a limited time save up to 50% or get no interest for 72 months with no minimum purchase. Ashley Home Store, this is home.
Today we decided to walk to school. The light counted. 15, 14, 31, 13. We took a left on Carroll Street. Danny's smart, but he gets distracted. I realized he forgot his homework. I hope he doesn't have another bad day at school.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org. Brought to you by Understood and the Ad Council.
Pros do it right by relying on trusted brands. Lowe's is here to help by stocking more of those brands, like DeWalt. Shop Pro bonus days and save $130 on a DeWalt 4-tool combo kit with 2 batteries and a charger for $269. And get a DeWalt 16-pack reciprocating saw blade set for $19.98. During Pro bonus days, get exclusive Pro savings with your Lowe's business credit account and enjoy breakfast on us all week while supplies last. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 7/21. Credit terms apply. U.S. only.
From the Weather Center, Abrahamson and Uterwick. Free consultation. TheInjuryLawyers.com. Pinellas Hillsborough.
Your Tampa Bay area forecast. Scattered showers today and tomorrow. 40% rain chance. High 91. Partly cloudy overnight. Low 78. For more news, weather, and traffic, tune to WFLA at 94.5 in St. Pete, 105.9 in Tampa, or 99.1 in Newport Richey.
This report is sponsored by Walgreens. At Walgreens, your day doesn't have to stop for diabetes. Get expert diabetes advice 24/7. Find all major brands of testing supplies like Walgreens TrueMetrics, and download tools to help you stay on track. Stop by and talk to your Walgreens pharmacist today.
The Tampa Bay area is home to thousands of military veterans, and there's a feature here on 1250 WHNZ that's all about giving them actionable information as they transition to civilian life. I'm Navy veteran Eric Dane. I host CBS Eye on Veterans as we focus on vets 6 days a week. Join us for our daily 1-minute feature at 7:50 weekdays during the Gordon Deal Morning Show, and for our weekly long-form show Saturday evenings at 6 here on 1250 WHNZ.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Ridgecrest Herbals, take your health to a higher elevation. Ancient Nutrition, nutrition for a modern world. Reviva Labs, the natural skincare authority. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. We're going to have we do the health question of the day. We do it now at the bottom of the hour. And we wanted to do that because to give people a chance to answer the question. So it's going to be related to the 2 stories I reported on dealing with ozone. And one was done here in the U.S. in some of the major metropolitan cities. Los Angeles was one of them. Chicago was another, and so on. And then the researcher replicated the study in China, somewhere in China, and found the same result and found a connection between ozone and what? Was it the connection that chronic exposure to ozone caused cancer? Or was it that chronic exposure to ozone caused atherosclerosis in these studies? What was the focus of these studies? Was the correlation between ozone and cancer, or was it between ozone and atherosclerosis? Here's the number to call to win a $25 supplement gift card. You can then go to one of your favorite health store and buy Natural Factors Whole Earth and Sea Greens and Greens Plus Protein products that are fermented, no less. Go ahead.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK.
Rob, welcome back. So here, these products, the greens product is 100% organic, non-GMO, and all of that. It's made from whole food, compressed 300 pounds of fresh whole food compressed into 1 pound. And then the 1 pound, what's in a cap, like let's say in the greens product, how many pounds of food are in that product? That must got to be a lot, right? To make a container of greens? Rob?
So we actually have a slightly different process between our multiple and our powdered greens products, our new fermented greens, but you can basically correlate to about 8 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables, and again, we have over 28 of them in there. I think we have some of the most broad breadth of them than any of.
So one serving of
market.
One serving of
per scoop.
One scoop of greens is equivalent to about how much did you say?
8 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables.
Wow, hell, there's some people who don't get 8 servings a week.
No, absolutely. And one of the things I really wanted to focus on also, Dr. Garko, was the aspect, we talk about greens. There's lots of greens on the market, but the thing that really separates us is the fermentation process. And I think, that's one thing people really don't understand. If you heard of fermentation, you've heard of...
Yeah, what's so special about it?
Sauerkraut.
What's so special about it?
Yeah, so the fermentation, so we've heard it through cultures throughout the world, right? You have Germans eating sauerkraut. You've got the yogurt, so the great benefits of yogurt. You've got the the beets and the ginger and the cabbage that goes into the kimchi, and what we found out is that there's several fantastic benefits just across the board with fermentation. From number one is the fermentation process actually creates additional nutrients. Now, this is one that I think, to me, is the most impressive, is because when you go through the fermentation, the microbes that actually go through the fermentation process, they actually create B vitamins. They create vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin K, and it's actually created that wasn't even there before. So take fenugreek, for instance. You take fenugreek into the lab, you test it, there's no B12 in it whatsoever. You actually ferment fenugreek, and B12 shows up. It's like, okay, where did that come from, right? Well, it's actually the process of going through nature that understands the human body. As the body begins to digest it, it's actually creating additional nutrition. So this is much farther beyond what.
So do you ferment all the food that goes into making that greens product?
Yes, everything. The 4 fruits, the 15 vegetables, the 3 grasses, the 6 herbs, everything is 100% fermented.
Fermented. And does that make, once it's fermented, does it make it more bioavailable?
Yes, it makes it more bioavailable because of basically what I just spoken with you. It actually breaks it down.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually, one of the availability too, another great benefit of the fermentation is actually breaks down these anti-nutrients, the phytic acid, the lectins, the cyanoglycosides. These are things that are naturally found in plant material to protect them from the elements, to protect them from diseases, but is actually counterproductive in our bodies because what happens is it actually blocks our nutrient uptake. So this is something I always advise people to, especially with things like collard greens and kale. You should always blanch them before you eat them.
Yeah.
Blanching is basically having boiling water on the stove, and you stick the leaves in there for 60 seconds. It blanches them, and before you put them on your salad, they're still crisp. They're still crisp afterwards. You can still have a nice salad with it or throw it in your smoothie. But the fermentation does the same thing. It actually breaks down those anti-nutrients, which makes it more bioavailable. So you're maximizing. If you want the ultimate in nutritional uptake, you want to take a fermented greens product.
Okay, let's go to Clarksville, Georgia. Mr. Senor, buenos dias.
Buenos dias. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. What's up?
I wanted to call about the whole earth and thing because we carry my native zinc, and The difference between Whole Earth and C and a lot of other vitamins, people come in looking for a vitamin, and they can actually read the ingredients in the back of the box and understand
I know.
what it says. Like, red oranges, echinacea, spearmint, peppermint, cranberry. By the way, all organic. No artificial colors, no preservatives, non-GMO. You can actually understand every word in the back of the box.
Do you have the greens? And then they have the greens plus protein, the Whole Earth that's fermented. Do you have those products in your store?
Of course I do. Yes, sir. I absolutely do. And they're amazing. And the other thing people don't realize is synthetic vitamins versus a vitamin like this. Go ahead and drop a synthetic vitamin in a glass of water for about an hour and come back. It'll still be sitting there in the bottom of the glass. And I mean synthetic when I say no real whole foods, nothing real in that vitamin. You take a Whole Earth and see the energy you get from this. It's like eating a plate of fruit and vegetables first thing in the morning when you take your vitamins.
Yeah.
It's just amazing, Doc.
Yeah, Rob had sent me, they taste great, too, by the way, which is tricky business. It turns out that the chemicals that are in the plants, the phytonutrients, oftentimes they can smell have a noxious smell, a noxious taste. And they're by design that way to protect the plant from insects and other environmental conditions. And it's interesting. So to try and find that, we need to. I lost my train of thought. I had producer chatting at me. I lost my train of thought. What did you want to say? Just talk to me.
Got to repeat the question. Have to repeat the daily question.
Okay.
We only have 3 lines. So
okay. We come back. I'll pick it up.
Want to
Experience the wisdom of nature with Zyflamend Whole Body from New Chapter? Zyflamend is a 10-herb blend that delivers 3 health benefits. First, Zyflamend is an herbal approach to pain relief, helping to soothe minor pain or soreness. Second, Zyflamend is a joint supplement with time-tested herbs to support joint function and flexibility. And the third benefit, Zyflamend supports the body's healthy inflammation response, something that's essential for maintaining whole body health. Zyflamend is New Chapter's clinically tested blend of 10 remarkable herbs, including pure and potent turmeric, ginger, and green tea. Zyflamend is non-GMO, project verified, gluten-free, and 100% vegetarian. New Chapter is a leader in supplement quality. Every ingredient, every product, every time. Discover Zyflamend, New Chapter's #1 selling multi-herbal. Zyflamend is made with ginger for occasional pain relief after exercise. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products.
Have you been putting off a cleanse? They can be harsh and leave you chained to the toilet, making for an overall unpleasant experience. Rethink your cleanse with Fluorescence, a daily cleanse that helps safely and gently detoxify your body. Unlike other detoxes that can be hard on the body, Fluorescence supports your body's natural processes, helping it to work more efficiently than it could on its own. The truth is your body is really good at cleansing, but due to the number of toxins we're exposed to, it can use a little daily support. Inspired by traditional OBGYN formula, Fluorescence is made with 8 herbs: burdock root, watercress, sheep sorrel herb, slippery elm, rhubarb root, kelp, blessed thistle, and red clover blossom. These herbs work together to support multiple elimination pathways, gently helping your body's detox systems do what they were made to do, only better. Forget harsh extreme cleanses and cleanse happy. Try Fluorescence for gentle daily cleansing that leaves you feeling rejuvenated. Find Fluorescence at your local health food store. For more information, visit florahealth.com.
Feel tired, lethargic, or irritable? Take Solace. You're one of millions of Americans that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, according to a national survey, 54% of adults have trouble sleeping. So what can you do about it? Take Solace. Solace is an all-natural dietary supplement formulated to support healthy sleep and relaxation. Solace can help you fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Formulated with all-natural ingredients, Solace is non-addictive and won't leave you feeling groggy in the morning. Take Solace an hour before bed and feel the calming effects of this extensively researched sleep and relaxation aid. For more information on Solace, call toll-free 877-533-7066 or visit TakeSolace.com. That's 877-533-7066 or take SOLUS.com. Look for Solace in your local health and nutrition store. Solace, for a good night's rest naturally.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Natural Factors, where great health begins. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Celsius, live fit. Flora, 100 years of herbal wisdom. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
So the health question of the day is on two ozone studies that I reported on by Dr. Wang. Very good researcher. Studies are well done. And they found a correlation between chronic ozone exposure and what? Was it cancer or was it atherosclerosis? 877-897-8255 is toll free. Call and be a winner, and then you can buy some of the there are 2 fabulous products from Natural Factors. They're Greens, Whole Earth and Greens product, and they're Whole Earth and Sea greens and protein. They combined them. Organic, fermented, whole food based, non-GMO, whatever. It's all good. They taste great. If you don't like vegetables, you're not getting enough fruits and vegetables, plants in your day-to-day diet, this is the option. Other than that, where are you going to get the fiber from? The moon? There's no, moon and cheese go together, but no, I don't know. Rob, welcome back. We have a lot of people that listen and watch the show that don't, they don't like to eat vegetables and fruit and plant-based foods. This is the only other option to get those phytonutrients and fiber into your body, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's a phenomenal option to do it. Obviously, we always encourage you to eat your fruits and vegetables, but oftentimes you're not getting the richness, the purity that you're going to be getting with the vegetable source material that we have. And, I just really can't, we can't emphasize the importance of fermentation. So I went over a couple of them. I also want to say, because I know you're broadcasting live with, the Ada Zinc and the Holly Hills, and you go into these stores, they have what's called a fermentation guide. It's a 10-page booklet that they can provide you. It's free, no charge. It can go into the depths of fermentation, the research behind it. It's just going to blow you away.
Do you have that? Do you have that document? Do you have that document online at any website?
It's actually, I can actually forward that to you. We don't have it on our website here at this point in time, but it's a live document that we can get and posted. Maybe we can get that to you.
If you could send it, it's called Fermentation Guide. If you could send me that would be great. I'd like to see that.
So I can send you the fermentation guide, but they can actually get it at Ada Zinc or Holly Hills or wherever they are
in health stores.
It's called The Power of Fermentation.
The Power of Fermentation.
The Power of Fermentation, and it really goes into all these things. One of the things I didn't cover is you can get using fermented protein. It's a increased protein absorption up to 40%. So you will, if you're wanting the ultimate in protein uptake. The bodybuilders out there, the athletes out there, you want to have a fermented protein.
Yeah.
The premier product are fermented greens or fermented protein in greens.
Yeah, and mom's trying to raise kids that are running around the house trying to wear her out. You need some help. Let's go to Tampa, Florida. Glenn, welcome to the show. So, chronic exposure to ozone in these two studies identified a correlation between ozone and cancer, ozone or atherosclerosis.
Hi, Dr. Garko. Atherosclerosis.
Yeah, it's not to say that there may be some work drawing a correlation between ozone and cancer, but in these studies, it was atherosclerosis in particular. They looked at the carotid arteries, the two large vessels that go up, that are in your neck and connect, allow blood to get to your brain, so you don't suffer from how can I put this? A lack of blood to the brain. How about that? How are you doing, Glenn?
Very well, sir. I've listened to this very exciting data and research that you were talking about today.
Yeah, Glenn, I have a clear memory. And this goes back decades. I don't know if you remember. You're probably old enough too. On the news, they were one of the first times they were reporting this phenomenon, and they didn't know what to call it then. This, like, it looked like something hanging over the city. I remember it was L.A. and then they finally called it smog. This goes
Smog
back.
Was the name, and we're New Englanders, so we're hearing that. We're like, we're never going to move out there.
Yeah, you got earthquakes and bad air. Other than that, the beaches are beautiful. Well, thanks for listening today, and congratulations on winning a $25 supplement gift card, Glenn. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. An excellent discussion on atherosclerosis.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care, guys.
Take care of yourself, too. Rob, welcome back. Natural Factors has gone, these two products are unbelievable. I don't know how. I don't know if somebody said, well, we want you to improve upon them. I don't know what else you could do at this point to improve on those. I don't know.
Well, first of all, I do want to clarify too, because we've talked about it briefly. We haven't really, the specific products that you're referring to is our fermented organic greens and our fermented organic protein in greens.
Right.
So I take the protein in greens, but the fermented greens is a phenomenal product also if you just want the straight greens. And getting back to what you mentioned earlier in the show, Dr. Garko, the mushrooms, we actually have 6 fermented medicinal mushrooms that are also giving you that extra support. There's no other product out there like it on the market.
There isn't.
Get the fermentation guide and find out about fermentation, and then ask about natural factors. Our greens are currently the only 100% fermented greens, 100% fermented protein, and 100% fermented mushroom product on the market. Every other product out there has some semblance of some fermented grasses in it, but it's not 100% fermented. And the big thing too, if you have consumers out there now that are having problems with greens and it upsets their stomach and they get bloating, that's because of it's not being pre-digested. We've had customers come in that have always had that with greens. They take our fermented greens and they say they feel fantastic. They've never had that bloating anymore. So this is really the premier product for
you can go
to optimize their nutrition.
You can go to Natural Factors, of course, at naturalfactors.com. Then they have a website that's totally dedicated to whole earth and sea dietary supplements. It's wholeearthsea.com. WHOLE, then the word earth, and then the word sea. Wholeearthsea.com. naturalcleanse.com, and there you will find the benefits of the products, about the products, all you need to know, which products, and they even have recipes and where you can buy it. It's all there. Rob, thanks a lot. Thanks for getting up early there in San Diego. We appreciate it very much. And please, are you going to Expo East?
I will be there. And
okay.
I will see you there.
God willing, we'll see you there too. We look forward to seeing you. Natural Factors, because your health is your wealth.
Everyone's raving about the newest botanical superstar hitting the